Hello, everybody. We are here with my special guest. Hopefully, all you can hear us. Hopefully, you can hear us fine.
If not, then I don't have anything important to say anyway.
Yeah. I'll say hello to Raka. Nice to see you. Jan, of course. Thank you for being here. Hello, Juju. We were just talking about Alabama. That's where I did my basic training long ago, a few decades. And Pennsylvania preparedness. Excited to see what's going on. Always a good time, especially the man with all the knowledge right here.
No.
If you don't have him on your watch list, make sure you go subscribe to his channel because he's the man that has tons of great information for sure. So yes, it is good. And hello, Heidi. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well and staying warm over there in Wisconsin. And Celtic Grandma, there you go. How are you? I've gotten, let me see, I think I have 5 bags so far of things packaged up before I did the fun stuff with the wrist. But It's okay. It's doing all right. My doctor said it's healing pretty good. So I just have to keep an eye on it, make sure I don't have any issues. Because it was, and I don't know if anybody else has had that problem, but I easily can tear tendons, it seems now, the older I get. All I have to do is pick up a bag wrong or sleep on it wrong, and it's just all out of whack. And I did something. I mean, I did good. She said I did good setting my finger by myself. That healed up pretty good. But now I don't have much feeling in there, so I'm kind of one-handing it here. But thank you, Jan, Forrest. Yeah, you won quite a bit, Forrest. I think you have quite a few things coming your way. You won the hand warmers. That was one item that I had chosen from a video that I posted on Dinosaur Hill and chose a comment from there or a person from there. And the hand warmers are really nice that a company decided to send them to me. And I was like, well, I'm going to give them to somebody that could use them. So let's see. Doing your best. Yes. Much tested. Hello. Hello. Nice to see you. And Storms, Radios, and Cats. I'm glad you can make it. Glad you can make it. Yes, I have my truck they're suppressing my videos. That's not uncommon. Anything to do with prepping, it seems like we get shuffled and stuck under a rock somewhere because they don't want other people to know what to do. Because
I put one out today that by now in the normal stream of things, I'd have over 150 views, and so far it's had 5.
Mine have been that way as well. And I'm not even really, I don't talk about news things. I usually am just showing items to prepare for whatever. And I've had a few good videos, but I just put a few up and all of a sudden I'm getting, 40 views or 100, a couple hundred when I have 2,000 or more on other ones. It's just ridiculous that I notice a lot of channels that I watch. Canadian Prepper, he talks about a lot of stuff, but he has 1 million people following him. So,
oh yeah, I think it's 1.4 million.
Yes. And I mean, for him, losing some views may not be a big thing, but all these other channels, even Alaska Prepper is, they're being hidden. And Celtic Grandma just said that you didn't see one from Cold War Prepper today. Crazy stuff. Yes. And even if I try to put out little shorts or whatever after I put a video, it's still the same. Yes. And Jan said the same thing. No notices. I don't get notices. I've been unsubscribed from people's channels as well.
Wow.
Yes. There's a few people. I was like, I haven't seen, if I hit the all button instead of subscribed in the little, selection area to find my channels that I usually watch, and I go through and look for all the new things. The dogs are already being pistols. Yeah. I mean, the gun channels or whatever. I mean,
I think the reason one today that it's got banned kind of is because I'm talking about how to use paper and legal tobacco and how to make barter items in a post-apocalyptic world, and they don't like that kind of stuff. So,
they want everybody dependent on the government
it's
or
not being
whatever.
used.
Yeah,
Helen asked a question.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really sad to see that good channels that share good information, that's basic information that everybody should want to know or hear about, we get hidden, but yet there's, the ones that are making them the most money. Of course, they don't
Right.
hide
And
those.
that's what it is. The entertainment value is what they're looking for.
Yes. And also they want to get their cut of their money, and we don't bring them money. We're informing people what's going on or what, new
their
things.
only thing is making money through advertisements. And so
Yes. And I'm not even monetized. I can't get watch hours on my channel, even though I've had over 1,000 subscribers for months. And
so here's what we'll do. So Michelle's got 12 solid days of 1 hour lives. Now the lives don't count for watch time. Okay. As far as monetization.
I've had to cancel quite a few of them. So I think,
so what I'm going to ask everybody to do is after this ends tonight, go back and just set your computer so that you're watching this as a replay and let it play while you're sleeping, so that way you're giving her 1 hour of watch time. And if we've got 12 people watching, that's 12 watch hours right there. That's going to help her towards her monetization. So
I have a few people
that after every live. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I have a lot of people that do turn on. I have been adding everything to one long playlist. So you can just hit play for, continuously or whatever. But even that, I have gotten the least amount of watch hours in the last month or two than I have before that. So that is just craziness.
It's terrible.
Yeah, and the internet, we're not freezing here that I can see, but I know that it is hard to, the internet, it's hit or miss. And I have new equipment from the internet company, and I still haven't installed it yet. It's supposed to make things faster and upload this and that faster or whatever, but it doesn't seem to make a difference. They just do whatever they want to do. We pay for it.
So basically, Disable, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I'll reciprocate. Jan, you're absolutely right. Commenting on the video helps an awful lot. And either hitting the like or even dislike button. The algorithm doesn't care whether you like it or dislike it, as long as you do one of the two. And then adding a comment down below really adds to the overall.
Yeah. And I actually, Forrest, I did make one big playlist with the longest running videos, not anything short or whatever, but I appreciate it. But they're just trying to keep me from getting there. And I'm the kind of person, I just do what I want to do anyway. I never really started this channel to make money, but if I can, that'd be fine too. So if not, oh well.
Okay.
And thank you, CJ. I appreciate that.
Disabled and Prepping has 2.73 thousand subscribers. I just subscribed to her. So let me get up here. I don't know if I have authority to
post
do
a link for Cold War Prepper.
I'm going to act like I'm going to pretend like I'm a moderator and see if I can get away with this.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Let me. Oh, it did let me. Okay. So there's Disabled and Prepping. If you could support her as well, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, and there is McBean. Hello, McBean. Nice to see you. So, yeah, I can't figure out. I mean, I know there's all the gadgets and things you can do so that, Vision, he has a thing where if you just put in whatever word, it'll put your link up there in the chat. He uses the whatever the E one is, that one. I looked at that one, but I was like, it's more stuff.
I'm technically adept.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not all whatever. Saturday, what does it say? Big Bash giveaway.
Oh, wow. Congratulations, McBean.
Yes, very nice. Sue me.
I know I'm subscribed to him.
Thank you for coming. Yes. So yeah, it's in my lives, nobody gets notifications usually unless they know ahead of time that they're going to be here. Like Jan is here. She's my moderator, one of them. And Uncle Al, he's a busy guy, but I know he's got a lot of things going on there. Hey, Double Dog Prepper. Nice to see you again. So yes, I asked Lee to be on here because he shows all the good things that I like. All the things all at one time. It doesn't mean that it's just all food items. I love gear. I like anything prepping related any time of year for a gift or just because. So, and he lives down where I did, close by to where I did my medic training in Texas. And hopefully you guys have no ice storm things coming up again.
We're supposed to have we had one in 2021,
right,
and that shut us down for almost a week.
Yeah.
We had another one that wasn't quite as bad in February of this year, 2023. That shut us down for about 4 days. They're saying it's going to have the worst one we've ever had this coming year. So they're anticipating probably most of the February we're going to be down.
Yeah, well, we had we had snow on Halloween here. I put up a little short video that you're only in Michigan. You know you live in Michigan if it's snowing when it's Halloween night. Kids are freezing. I'm out there trying to do my leaves in the yard, and then I'm getting snowed on. And we had all the craziness of that.
I think it was ridiculous. 1997. We had an ice storm the first week of February. They just shut the city down. I mean, it tore us apart. And then the last week of February, we had 3 consecutive days over 100 degrees.
That would figure. Yeah, we used to here in Michigan. We used to get the Indian summers in November. We used to get cold weather like end of September and October. And then all of a sudden it'd be 70s or even 60s, and we'd be out in shorts in November. And sometimes we haven't had snow for Christmas for years and years and years. Now, they're messing with all the things with the weather or whatever they're doing, because it is crazy all the time. We never know what we're going to get. We've had snow and ice here, and, it's been below normal temperatures. It's in the 30s. And this is about the time we're supposed to have that weather, but we've had it since September and October. It makes no sense.
Well, looky there. There's one of Jan, of course, and then a couple others. I've seen a couple of people who are on my channel regularly, but there's Phioxerus. Fantastic commenter. Just
hey there. Welcome.
So I hope he subscribes to you as well. He's just
that'd be great.
Always great comments on my lives.
Yeah, my dogs are being little pistols over there. Hey, shush it in there, dogs. Get that doggy away from there, would you?
Oh, they can come in.
No. No, they're pistols. And I pay my daughter for dog sitting to keep them out of there. Because there's a door. We have a wooden sliding door I'm in the living room side. That is a family room over there. It's too big of a place here, but we do what we do. And I got the roof, finally have the roof replaced. That was a chore. It was a hot mess. And one of the guys, his foot fell through the ceiling in my daughter's bathroom. Yeah.
Wow.
So now there's a big hole in her bathroom ceiling. I do have all the ceilings inside that have to be fixed in here. So it's like $35,000 to $40,000 in damage. So
we had our roof replaced due to a hailstorm, and they came in and the water came in. And
yes, I had it coming in my bathroom.
So we had discolored, they had to replace some drywall and stuff like that. Yep. So once the paint dried, you can see where the painting stopped, on the walls and on the ceiling and all that kind of stuff. So I complained to the company that did that, and they're coming back at 9:30 tomorrow morning to repaint the entire living room. So
this is
one color.
The bad part is, they did the best that they could because there was so much rotten wood because the previous owner, they just did patchwork everywhere. It's terrible patchwork. And then the rot underneath was horrible. It was horrible. Now they're fighting in there. Oh gosh, little dog syndrome in there. The Yorkie's picking on the mini Schnauzer. I don't know if you can hear them in there, but
so goodness. Other than medical, because I know you're an expert on medical.
I try not to be.
What would you say is your next favorite subject as far as prepping?
Well, besides medical, I was also in the dentistry field for 31 years.
Oh, wow. No.
Yes, I was a nurse assistant at 15. I went to nurse. I was a CNA at 15. Then I could not do the work co-op because I had to work in a nursing home, and I had just taken care of my grandmother till she passed away when I was 16. So I switched to dentistry, and I stayed in the dental field And of course, I served my 8 years. I worked at the clinic out at Selfridge Air National Guard Base. And I worked in dentistry for 31 years until my hands quit working. So I had to stop doing that. And that's when I couldn't figure out why I had so many problems. I was losing the feeling on my hands and I was dropping a lot of instruments, which people don't want me to do that when I'm working in their mouth. So I was trying to figure out what was going on. And, they asked if I had any major injuries or anything to my elbows where my nerves, because my nerve was hanging out of the elbow where you bend your arm up and it was like flopping around in there on the one hand. So I was losing the use of that hand. And so I had a transposition done and it's not, now it's in my forearm here. So that was the first one, but then I had to have my rotator cuff, a bicep repair, and something else all done. I had everything on the whole shoulder on that side too.
Oh, wow.
But the first injury I could think of that I ever had that involved my elbows was when I fell down a mountain in basic training in Alabama. Somebody, how they move the branch out of their way? Well, guess what? It hit me in the face and knocked me down the side of the mountain.
Fort McClellan was the headquarters for the Women's Army Corps until they did away with it. What, in 78, I think it was?
Yeah, well, they had the military police, the MP training that was there, and also is the largest. It was the only, well, it actually is the largest chemical battalion in the Army as well. Yeah. And that because in Fort McClellan it no longer exists. It's like a Camp Lejeune. It's totally gone. And the city, I'm trying to remember the city that it's by. Oh my gosh. Birmingham. It's near Birmingham area, but even the city area around it, they had to demolish a lot of that area because of contamination. That's how bad that place was. So
our headquarters was Fort Devens, Massachusetts. And they turned that back over under BRAC. They gave it back to the state of Massachusetts. And then when I was going to language school in Monterey for basic Russian, I had quarters on post at Fort Ord, and Fort Ord no longer exists. Fort Ord was one of the most beautiful posts that the Army had.
Yeah, I don't receive anything from the government whatsoever as far as disability and things like that. Mine is just purely from, my working time that I did before I could no longer work. So, but everybody says, because they have the case out, just like Camp Lejeune, they have one out for Fort McClellan as well, because there are so many people that passed away from cancers there. So, and it was toxic, the families, the water, everything was contaminated all around that area.
Unbelievable.
So, yeah, it was, they gassed us. We'd get up and we'd be going to the chow hall. We get gassed on the way to the chow hall.
And Juju's saying Anniston.
Oh, Anniston.
Okay. Is where Fort McClellan was.
All I know is it was long ago. I got some little sometimers. I can't remember anything. Yeah.
I saw Sue come in too. Hello, Sue.
Yep. Yep, right there. What's this one? Oh, MP training. Yep. There were a lot of MPs there for sure.
95B.
Well, and we were their guinea pigs as well. So we were gassed all the time, no matter where we went. We could be doing PT in the morning, we get gassed. And of course, you don't have a gas mask on you when you're running 5 miles.
That's true.
So we couldn't protect ourselves at any point in time. We didn't have anything.
The first time I did it, I was there TDY to Field Station Augsburg in Augsburg, Germany. And I was assigned I was at TDY, the 1st Operations Battalion, which was Army Security Agency Field Station Augsburg. So most people didn't realize it, but there's an ASA company in every division. So I was assigned to the 337th ASA company, Fort Riley, Kansas. So I had a big red 1 on my left shoulder, but I had the ASA Regimental Corps crests on my shoulders. And so I was walking to first ops, and next doors was part of the 1st Infantry Division Forward, 3rd of the 63rd Armored Battalion. And so this lieutenant, I saluted him, and he looked at me, he says, "Soldier, aren't you confused?" I was a staff sergeant at the time. And I said, "No, sir, I don't understand. What are you talking about?" He says, "Well, you got the wrong patch or crest or something on, because you got 1st Infantry Division and ASA. And I said, yes, sir, I am both. So I had to show him a copy of my TDY order. So I was actually part of the 1st Infantry Division from Fort Riley, TDY to Field Station Augsburg, for him to believe that I could wear both 1st Infantry Division patch and ASA crest.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I was surprised that they were telling me, well, when I fell down the mountain, I chipped a piece off of my elbow on one of whatever elbow it was. I don't remember if it was my right or left, but I was in a sling. And my drill sergeant, one of them, was telling me, well, you're not going to graduate. You're going to have to do it over. And I was like, oh, no, I'm not. I said, and I took off my sling right then and I threw it in the garbage. I said, I'm not staying here any longer than I have to. I said, I'll be done. And I actually, that was the one good thing was, and one of the drill sergeants didn't even know who I was, because we were out doing night fire and I was in a foxhole, and he come up behind me and he's like, he was watching me do my stuff I was doing there. And, hey, Andrew, nice to see you. So he said, he was watching me, and he was saying, yeah, that's some good shots you got there. And I said, thank you, drill sergeant. And he's like, what platoon are you in? I said, yours, drill sergeant. I mean, it was nighttime and stuff.
Doesn't that make you feel, yeah.
And there was we had a female drill sergeant. She was an African-American female drill sergeant, which this was in, the 80s. Still, I mean, there weren't very many females in general. Yeah. And my brothers, they were both like, oh, you don't want to get any, certain kinds of, especially a female drill sergeant. First thing is that, well, they watch you when you go to the receiving station. They have their eyeballs out on who they want to do certain things. Well, that door opened on that cattle truck when I got out there, and I was like, oh gosh. And the first thing I saw was this lady was in my face, and she knew my name, and I was like, oh crap.
Oh my gosh.
And she called me Donnelly. My name is Donnelly, Irish. But she called me Donnelly the entire time until we had free speech time the night before graduation or whatever it was. And, she asked if anybody had something to say. And I said, yeah, it'd really be nice to be called the right name. And she's like, what do you mean, private? And I said, well, my name is Donnelly. And you've been calling me Donnelly. Oh, she's like, well, why didn't you say something? And I was like, yeah, right. Like, I'm going to tell you anything. I just do whatever you said. But I did graduate with honors from basic training. That was one thing that I was happy about.
Now, you were a 91 Bravo, right?
I was a 91 Alpha first.
91 Alpha first?
91 Alpha is from, when I first finished my AIT at Fort Sam. But then when the Gulf War started, we got shipped down to, it was, I don't know, let me see, Grayling. We had some training up there. That was a long 2 weeks in the snow up there, because I did not like that. But oh gosh, there was another place we went to. Battle Creek.
The vast majority of the people here don't know what we're talking about.
I know.
So 91 Alpha.
91 Alpha is a medic.
Is a medic. Fort Greely is in Alaska.
Yeah.
Right. And so a 91 Bravo is a combat medic, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so we were sent down, we got the notice about, the Gulf War starting, and some of the people from our unit were getting sent to South Carolina to replace some people that had been sent overseas. Well, us medics, most of us were still 91 Alphas. So they shipped us for a week or so to Battle Creek, where we got our quick combat medic training so they could make us 91 Bravos, because they couldn't send us as 91 Alphas.
Right.
So we had to be switched from 91 Alphas to 91 Bravos, and we got a whole week or 10 days worth of field training. I mean, it's the same thing as working in whatever, but
yeah.
I tell you, I was like, I had to make out a will and a power of attorney, and I was 19. I was in college. I was working with 4 different dentists and going to college at that time. And so it was just craziness. My mom was having a fit. I'm the only daughter in the family, and I was the only female in the military in my entire family.
Wow.
So, yes, the only person, like the items that I had sent you, I sent Lee some coins that I had that were my uncle's when he was in Germany. And he was in the military, and he was in the longest out of anybody in the family. He was a lifer, and he retired down in but he went to Fort Sam. That's where he ended his military career, and they stayed in that area and raised their family and stuff like that after. But yeah, so it was like a short little blurb, and we were getting ready to get shipped out, and they started sending people back by that time because there were myself. I think there was only three or four of us medics. Our paperwork was lost, quote unquote lost.
Oh, I'm sure.
So there were only 4 of us that were not sent to the Carolinas, whichever one, south probably, to go replace people. But everybody else, medic-wise or medical, were overseas already. But there were 4 of us that were not sent anywhere.
Wow.
We were on standby the whole time. Every day we got, updates. And, I'm glad I did not have to go, but I would have rather not had to go through all the waiting and the stress of it all.
Well, my first AIT was 2 years long.
Wow.
So I did 1 year of Indonesian language school at Defense Language Institute, West Coast, Monterey, California. And then from there, I went to NSA and became a code breaker at 98 Bravo. And that was a year long.
I bet you heard a whole lot of good stuff.
Huh?
I bet you heard a whole lot of good stuff going on.
Worked that for about a year. And so I was 3 years into my 4-year enlistment. But at 3 years, you could re-enlist. So they said, hey, if you want $10,000 cash, and this is 1973, mind you.
That's a lot of money then.
$10,000 cash, re-enlist for 4 years, and we'll give you whatever you want. And I said, I want to go back to DLI and study Russian.
Yeah.
Well, at the same time that I was saying I want to go study Russian, they were doing away with 98 Bravo. They were turning it all into computers. And so they reclassed me as a 98 Charlie, which is a signals intelligence analyst. And so the only time I held the MOS 98 Charlie was while I was going to school for basic Russian.
Yeah.
So after 1 year of basic Russian, they sent me to Goodfellow Air Force Base for 18 weeks of voice intercept operator school. So I learned how to listen to the Russians on the radio. And then from there, I went to Fort Riley for 3 years. But I went TDY almost every summer or winter to Augsburg, Germany. So I almost had a full year at First Ops in Augsburg. Went back to DLI for another year of Russian. Then I went to Augsburg for 3 years as a Russian voice intercept operator. Then from there, I taught that at AIT at Goodfellow Air Force Base. Then I went to a remote intercept site on the East-West German border, a little place called Detachment Wobeck. Gorgeous little place. And we had just gotten married. Interesting story. Helen and I got married the day I was supposed to sign out of Goodfellow from instructor duty. So my battalion commander was nice enough to help her get her orders and ID card and everything else. So I picked her up at the airport in Berlin. Well, in order to drive across East Germany, you had to have what they called flag orders. And so they had to exactly match your ID card and the flag orders. Well, her ID card said, Helen M, last name, and then open parents, W, closed parents. And the parenthetical elaboration was for wife, W for wife. Mm-hmm. So I got to checkpoint Bravo to go across to checkpoint Alpha. And the Soviet guard there's looking at it, and he's confused, and he's, card and her. So he asked me to go inside the shack with him. Well, Helen's been reading Daniel Forsyth novels, about spies. Ken Follett novels about spies in Berlin and everything else. And we're in Berlin trying to get back through Potsdam to Helmstedt. And so, and the guard asked me to go in. So she doesn't know what's going on. She's about ready to have a nervous breakdown. So I go in.
Would too.
I go into the guard shack, and all of a sudden this guy says, hey, Blad. And Blad is not a good term. So you don't call an officer a Blad. I can tell you that much. And so that told me it had to be another private behind that window there. And so they're talking back and forth. And so he looks at me and he points at the W and he points at the ID card. And as if to say, hey, there's a problem here. I said, I had to put a Steyr Shibka. It's just a simple mistake. And he looks at me, he goes in shock. And I said, so the Russian letter zha looks just like the English letter W, except it has a little bit of a tail on the end of the W. So zha is the first letter of zhena, which is wife in Russian.
Okay.
So he took his ballpoint pen out, put in a parenthetical elaboration, and instead of a W, he put in a zha. And then he closed parents, and he says, okay, and he stamped it, handed it back to me. I drove off. Got to the Russians at Marienborn. They didn't have any problem with that. I guess he called them and told them what was going on. Then when I got to the MPs at Checkpoint Alpha at Helmstedt, oh, they had a fit. How in the world did you get through? Look at this. Look at how it's been altered. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. No, just let us in.
But that, and so then I made warrant while I was at Wobeck and became an analysis technician supervisor.
Yes. Well, Devil Dog here says, you bet you have a lot of good stories. Some you probably can't tell. Yeah. Everybody has some secret from the military that they can't talk about.
Yep.
Yeah. All kinds of crazy stuff goes on. Again, I was 17 when I was in basic training, and there were some people there. There was one woman, I think she was Korean. She barely spoke English. And I was like, how did she get in the military to begin with for basic training? And she could barely understand English, and she had zero physical fitness to her at all. And I felt so bad for her. But there were a lot, and there was one person. Some people can't handle things mentally. Yeah. And somebody, Celtic Grandma says she can't hear anything. Oh, everybody else hear us okay? I can hear Lee. We're both flapping our gums. Hopefully you can hear us.
Well, I went on for 6 minutes last night flapping my gums on my live before I found out I wasn't live. Forgot to hit the button.
Devil Dog did 12 years in the Marines. Okay, they can hear us. Okay, I'm not sure what's going on, Celtic Grandma.
Thank you for your service, Devil Dog. My best buddy, he happened to be in basic Russian with me and intermediate Russian with me. So we were both staff sergeants together in 1976. He became a gunny. I was a sergeant first class in 1977. Danny Wells, and he retired out of North Carolina. But he was a CT, we call them CT Marines. The CTs were the Navy equivalent to what we did. And but yeah, I had lots of Marine friends because we everything we do in the signals intelligence world is pretty much joint service.
Well, you did that. We were medic support for the Marines as well, especially like when I had to go up north here in Michigan in the middle of winter where it was like 5 feet of snow and grayling for 2 weeks. We were pretty much the medic support for. There were engineers up there, Army engineers that were doing, night training, building bridges at night with not speaking, no lights, no nothing. That was kind of crazy. We only had one incident. Somebody got injured once there during that time. They didn't move their hands when they were supposed to, and they got crushed when they were building the bridge. And I got to take care of a bunch of whiny butt men that got the flu. I had to go into the men's barracks where all these guys had the flu, and I was like, get your buns out of bed and get out there and do something because you guys are all a bunch of wusses. I was like, of course, good thing having medics around too, because I think there was one person during the 2 week time that somebody was choking in the chow hall. They were choking, and the first thing they did was put their hands like this. So we know. And somebody just was up in 5 seconds, and bam, that was clear, gone, good to go. But man flu is real. Yeah, it is true. My doggies are having a fit. What do you get those ding dings settled in there, girl? Thank you. They're like, we want to go see what's going on. But yeah, there was one man. He had a heart attack, but he was old. To me at that time, I was very young. I was still in my early 20s, but he was maybe 40, 50 years old, but he had a heart attack or heart attack symptoms. We did call in an ambulance to take him to the local hospital though, because we didn't have, we had shared barracks. I mean, some people shared rooms. We had individual rooms, but the showers were all open, men and women. Back in the day.
When I was at Field Station Augsburg, so Field Station Augsburg Sheridan Concern, 1st Battalion had 2 of these big Nazi World War II barracks, okay? 4 stories plus a basement. I mean, it was unbelievably big.
Sounds better than we had here.
I think this was the 4 barracks we had was an entire regiment for the German Army in World War II. But 1st Ops Battalion had 2 barracks. So building 154, they had 3 stories that was all men. Then building 155, the first floor was all senior NCOs. And then the 2nd and 3rd floors were females. And then the 4th floor was basically a laundromat for the women. And so one morning I was getting ready for work, and I went to, we had those common showers and all that kinds of stuff. So I'm run down to the showers, getting ready to go to work. First I shaved, then I go into the shower. And I had this habit of always facing with my back to the wall. So that I would tilt my head back and get my head and then start shampooing and everything else. And I had my eyes closed. And I opened my eyes and go, what in the world? And it was one of the ladies from upstairs. And she said that all the showers were full. So she decided to come down and shower with us. I'm going, you're going to get us both in terrible trouble. Get out of here. But yeah, it was something else.
Yeah, there's always some kind of craziness going on here and there, of course. But we always got stuck with guard duty all the time. I used to pay people to do my guard duty when I was in AIT because I love San Antonio and being downtown in the, on the weekends or whatever. They always had festivals and music and all the things. And we'd run into some people because they had, let me see. Well, at Fort Sam, they also have, they had some Air Force people there and some Navy people there as well, of course, training. And, but they were in basic training and they were out in town during their basic training. I was like, I joined the wrong place. I said, we didn't know what, we were not allowed coffee, no caffeine, no sweets, no sugars, no nothing. So, I mean,
the same way during my basic training.
Yeah. And they kept telling me, you're overweight. You're overweight. You can't graduate. You weigh too much for your height. And I was like, you guys are starving me to death. I mean, I could eat an 8-course meal in like 3 seconds. I was starving every day, all day. No coffee, no nothing, no sweets, nothing like that. And they kept saying, I was 5'2.5" then. I'm like maybe 5'2" now if I'm lucky. But I said, you guys are starving me. I said, I can't eat any less food. And so I said, my drill sergeant, I told her, I said, hey, I said, body fat test me. I said, because I can't go without eating what I'm eating. I said, you guys are killing me. Wow. And so I had to, that's how I got to graduate. But I graduated with honors I maxed my endocycle testing, and they didn't bug me too much after the fact when I got my body fat tested, because I was, I think I weighed like 117 pounds and I was just solid. I mean, because you do 5 miles, you're just going all day. But oh my goodness, I tell you, that's one way to get in shape, because you're scared poopless when you get into basic training.
let me tell you the miracle of all miracles, military miracle of all miracles. 21 years active duty. I was assigned to Fort Hood twice, 2-3-year tours at Fort Hood. Never stepped foot on it.
Yeah.
So the first time I was assigned to Fort Hood was the 303rd ASA Battalion, Fort Hood, Texas, with duty at NSA, Fort Meade, Maryland. Okay. So then in 1977, ASA and MI merged, and it became INSCOM, the Intelligence and Security Command. And so they just called everything MI. So when I was teaching at Goodfellow Air Force Base, I was assigned to the 303rd MI Battalion, Fort Hood, Texas, with duty at the U.S. Army Intelligence Center and School, Goodfellow Detachment, Goodfellow Air Force Base. So assigned to Fort Hood for 6 years and never stepped foot on it.
Yeah, well, I was that way when I moved to Georgia. I only lived in Georgia. I moved from Michigan to Georgia for maybe 6 months or so, but I didn't even step foot. And that was a place where my oldest brother that I grew up with did his basic training in Georgia. And I was living right around there, but I never went there. I mean, the whole time I was there, because I was working my buns off, and I was in the South, and I was a Yankee. All the old people, my patients, were calling me Yankee. They're like, "You're one of this little guy." He was maybe 80, and he said, "You're one of them damn Yankees, aren't you?" So I got picked on by the older generations down there.
Should have to emphasize the damn.
Yeah. But yeah, it was interesting. But the largest population of patients that I had when I was in Georgia were Japanese.
Wow.
And they had an interpreter that would bring my patients in and interpret for me. I learned some Japanese because, you have to learn a little bit here and there, because there's, if there's a family, if there's 3 kids and a husband and a wife, and they're all in there for their appointments to have stuff done. Wow. There's only one of her. Her name was Sumi. I remember her. I can't remember my name from 5 minutes ago, but I can remember her name from the 90s. Wow. And but I mean, we had to learn a few things here and there, with the Japanese and stuff, but the huge population, because they had so many large manufacturers and stuff in that area. I was in, I can't even remember what city I lived in. LaGrange. I lived in LaGrange, Georgia, which is in between Columbus and the other one.
Now, Columbus is Fort Benning, I think, right?
not Clinton. Oh, I can't remember them. But anyhow, there was a couple of bases. There was one north and there was one south of where I was.
Okay.
So I just, it was interesting though, but there was a lot of Japanese companies then, not Chinese or China, people from China. It was Japanese, and it was all textiles and, other things.
Did you see the news today about China?
No, I don't watch the news.
Now that we've had 100,000 unaccompanied, military age, well-dressed, well-physiqued men cross over the border.
I've heard of that a lot.
That there's been a 900% increase in crossings by Chinese.
Not surprising. Yeah, it's not surprising that I keep hearing about that all the time. They've been doing it, and it's the worst thing they've ever done. We've had so many people just bombard our country. We can't do that to other countries. They wouldn't let us in. If we try to leave here because the poop hits the fan with our GOV, they're not going to let us in there, but we got to let everybody else in. I do have some items to give away. Mr. Lee here was nice enough to not want to keep that Nutrient Survival 3-pack of goodies from Becky the other day. So yep. I do have, any of the keywords. It's so funny. McBean, he said, just in case any of those are the keywords, seed, plant, food. Yeah, that's funny. So I do have a couple of things. I got to pull up the pictures here. So
let's give stuff away. I like the goodies. That.
Yes, I like doing that too. So
speaking of which, I got a little thank you box going to you.
Oh, well, thank you. You don't have to do that, but I'm the one who likes to give stuff away. So let me see if I can. I'm trying to use one hand. I got to do the other one. Okay, let me see. There it is. All right. Well, I have this one here, and I got to pull up the other thing. Darn it. Hold still thing. There it is. Oh, I opened it twice. Okay, let me try it again. See if I can get it to come up. But
well, you got the tool showing.
Yep, I have that there. I was trying to get this one up there. Darn it. That one. And it doesn't want to let me do what I want to do. Okay. That's difficult. I'm not tech savvy when it comes to some of the things. So, but it's the 3-pack of the meals from Nutrient Survival, and it had the, oh gosh, I'm going to do it again.
It's what they call the sample pack.
Thing. Yeah. Oh, yes. It was a sample pack, the entree sample pack. That's really what it was. Yeah. So I'm going to try, and I'll just put in here. I'll just do some of the things I did the other day. I'll put Wolf. Oops. If I type right, Wolf in all caps. Too much noise there at work. Can't hear anything. Oh, sorry, McBean. Except Canucks. I hear that. Not easy for Canucks to get in. Yeah, I was going to say, border of Canada. I mean, it used to be so easy to go across there, but I used to go to Canada at least a couple times a year on the train and stuff like that. But I'm gonna make this bigger so I can see. There we go. Except I can't. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see all that, but it's Wolf all caps, and it's going to be for that 3-pack of all the goodies from the food I have yet to try that I still promote. So
last year, what I did, I focused on, they have, that's breakfast stuff there. I keep the stuff here because I like to advertise it too. But last year I focused on things like this. This is the chocolate chip cookie meals. And then I got the peanut butter meals. So basically 2 of these cookies is a meal.
Wow, I like cookies.
And so what you do is, and the reason I wanted to focus on these last year was because these fit perfectly in your bug out bag.
Cool. Are they packaged individually inside that, or are they all open?
They're packaged in 2s.
Oh,
so 2 cookies to a little plastic thing, and so that's that's great. That's fantastic for your bug out bag. So last year I focused on the on getting all the cookies and a whole bunch of them, and that way I can also pass those out, as payment for work or anything if it
nice.
Hits the fan.
All righty.
This year I've been focusing on drinks.
Yeah, so, I saw it. I think that's the one thing I like about you as well, because you have a certain focus every time. And sometimes you just have everything in one, which that's what I do because it's easier for me to get everything in one, even though I shopped at 5 different stores. But I'm going to go ahead and draw for this one. And let's see. Hey, we got 16 comments. So let's hit the button and see who wins.
Oh, no. It put me in there only because I told people that is the word. Yay, oh, yeah. Bonnie.
That's okay. Bonnie. All right, Bonnie. Congrats to you. And send me an email, please, at mittenprepperveteran@gmail.com. And I will let you know I got your information, okay? And I will let you all know when I get stuff sent on the way. So congrats, Bonnie. And while we're at it, okay, so I got Bonnie. I'm going to write this on here.
I just saw a question I want to answer here real quick.
Go ahead.
Where was it? Somebody asked if we could only choose one of their products. Which one would I choose?
It was Heidi, Disabled and Prepping.
Okay.
If you could only afford one of their items with all the nutrients in it, which one would you pick?
Probably I would go with the scrambled eggs.
I was going to say that was the one they promote the most about that. I think
they are nutrient enhanced, very easy. And so in your prepping, and we're going to be starting a new book here in my nonfiction book club. We're going to be starting this one probably in about 2 weeks. So it's good down. This is Jonathan Hollerman's presentation to Congress on what happens to the U.S. if we lose the grid during an EMP or an CME.
Yeah, fun stuff.
And one of the things that we forget is that SHTF is going to be a timeline. So there's going to be a panic stage the first 3 or 4 days where people are going to be trying to cook all the stuff in their fridge. Then they're going to go to canned goods. So you've got this evolution of how people are going to be eating, how they're going to be surviving, how we're going to be interacting, and everything else. You want to be just like everybody else to the extent possible for the first week. So eat your you want to be out back grilling so that people see that you're with them, you are the same as them, and then you're going to start moving a little bit more and more indoors. So where the nutrient survival stuff really fits the bucket is it's all pre-cooked. All you have to do is add hot water and let it seep. So that means while everybody else is in that stage of transitioning between the last of their food and no food, you'll have the ability to eat indoors by only heating water, and nobody will know that you're cooking and surviving. So
yeah, that is one good thing about dehydrated foods is you can just let it sit. And then, yes, you can, if you have any power or whatever, then you warm it up and you can be inside the house and nobody will know.
Now, there are, like I'm also involved with Thrive Life. I have been since 2009. You have to cook that. So make sure I have some of that, whether it's pre-cooked or whether it's raw when you get your freeze-dried foods, because each has a place. But like I said, this nutrient survival for that transition between panic and survival is going to keep you separated from the rest of them so that they don't know that you're eating while they're starving.
Yeah. That's the part that, keeping your preps under wraps. There's, it's hard where I'm at, I use that frost spray, of course, and I have blackout curtains. Like I've told you, I don't like anybody being able to see any inside my place at all from any angle, nowhere. And my one neighbor that I talked to eventually, obviously, since we've been here, but he's like, oh yeah, when I saw you spraying your windows, he said, oh, I guess I don't want to bother her or anything like that. And I said, no, it's nothing to do with you. I said, it's just how I am, and so he knows. And he actually having conversations more and more, we become acquaintances and whatnot, because if I had any problems or whatever, he knows how I am and I know how he is. So, he said, if he, he's one time he's like, hey, I put my garbage outside and I set your camera off or something on the side of the house over there. It's not even a camera. It's just a light that looks like a camera, which I tell people, even if you get the fake ones, put them up. He thought it was
Storms, radios, and cats, because you can't eat egg yolk and only egg whites. I would say get one of the cookies. My favorites, the peanut butter bars. The chocolate chip are phenomenal as well. But I would say get one of the survival cookie meal bars if you can't do eggs. And
yeah, I got to try all the things before I order stuff.
Yeah, and then the other one is Sumi wants to know about frost spray. She's from Canada.
Oh,
So
yeah,
we have this white spray that we put on our windows that it imitates snow. So people use it to decorate their windows during the winter holidays to replicate Frosty the Snowman and other things like that.
It comes off easier though. The kind that I use is more permanent. You have to use a really strong scraper to get it off. But it's
basically you're spray painting your windows white.
Yeah, so pretty much. Well, this is like a bluish tint, a white bluish tint to it.
It's pretty much opaque. You can't see through it, and it doesn't show light through it, and all that kinds of stuff.
Well, it does show light through. That's the one thing. That's why I still have blackout curtains over top of it as well. So blinds and blackouts. Yes, I do that. Yes, and Storms, Radios, and Cats says to have a low-fat, high-carb diet. Lee, is what he is saying.
Okay.
But you got also, when the poop hits the fan, whatever kind of meal plan we have is going to be out the window if we don't have all those things stocked. And it's hard to do that for certain dietary needs. If people have insulin, hopefully they have refrigeration.
This sounds like hypoglycemia, whereas here we have brittle type 1 diabetes here. So it'd be just the opposite of that.
That's one thing that I wanted to make sure is I don't have dependency on any medications that on a regular basis, and that's something that I've always been fearful of is that, if I was diabetic or if someone has to be, at one point in time, they had me on all kinds of crazy medications with all the things and surgeries I had and stuff like that. And I was like, you know what? I have nerve damage. I have nerve pain. It's never going to go away. I just have to do other things to help with it. And I have to pick things that are natural and more readily available supplement wise, rather than a prescription medication that I'm going to be dependent on. And it doesn't help anyway. Nothing really helps except for trying to kill
the whole reason I bought Whole House Solar and battery backup is because I read Dave Forshane's book or William Forshane's book, 1 Second After, and his daughter, the hero in that book's daughter expires because of a lack of cold insulin. And so I said, that's not going to happen here. I will have the ability to keep any insulin cool.
Yeah, it's kind of, well, and also I used to have, went before Tractor Supply, they used to carry refrigerated penicillin liquid, and I used to buy it. And then they haven't had it for years and years, but I did find a different alternative, and it is not refrigerated. It's not an ivermectin, but it's something similar to it. But it is a large glass container, brown, of course, and it's not refrigerated, so it is shelf stable. So a lot of your medicine box, I don't know. Oh, okay. I was going to say I'm trying to read this as real quick. Problem is my body can't store food. It's missing an enzyme. So you have to take a supplement and stick close to that diet for energy to survive each day. Yeah. There's a whole lot of things that people have to do nowadays. For myself, even I'm trying to do more. I'm eating my old diet again. I used to be vegetarian for most of my life. At the age of 16, before I went in the military, I was vegetarian. And then I ate whatever they put in front of me in basic training because I was starving. And I did always try to get rice and chili. That was my main thing, that I would have a humongous plate of that. I could eat it in 5 seconds with my water. And that was all I ate. And I ate that as much as possible. And so, but, I didn't, and the MREs were terrible. At least now the MREs that I get from the Army Navy store, I pick the ones that I want, which are vegetarian based.
Thank God you didn't have the Vietnam era C rations.
Yeah. Well, they have some old stuff in there. I mean, they have a lot of things that are really cool. I love going there. I can't go there. I can't afford it anymore because I want all the things. But I do have another item I want to give away, because there are some newer people in here, and it is the book that I had given away before is one I said that I found at the Dollar Tree store. But it was originally from that's not it. It was originally from Target. If I can get it to come up here. It's slowly getting there. Let me just see if I can share this on the screen. It does not want me to do anything. Let me get this off there.
I have that way with technology.
Yes, I am not very good at it. Darn you thing. Yeah, I try my best to get it on there. So I try, but it doesn't want to let me. Anyhow, I'm going to see if I can it's called The Prepared Home. And I'm trying to get the thing up there. I want it up there. It doesn't want to let me. It does not want to let me do what I want to do. I keep trying to share it and it won't let me do it. Either way. Oh, maybe because I have to go like this. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. You stinker.
You're going down
no,
to
you
present?
stinker. Either way, no matter what. Okay, whatever it is. I can't do it, but it's called The Prepared Home.
Let me see if
And
I
it does
can.
not want to allow me to get it, but I have it on here. It just does not want me to share it. Can we let that dog out, please? Yeah, I have it pulled up, but I shared it the other day. But it is called The Prepared Home.
How to start, organize, and edit your home.
But it is it's called
It's
the Organized
the one that has
Home.
the white right?
Darn.
Okay.
It has. Of course, I'm
Got a
going to
blue
choke
circle.
now. I think so.
Blue circle with the prepared home in white in it.
Yeah, prepared. Yes, that is it. That is it. Thank you. So yes, I can't. Yeah, that's the one. It is. But I actually got ideas from that book, and I've been prepping for 37 years almost now, and so I think it's something good to look through because it gives you ideas. It says, "Hey, plan to use all your preps only for 3 days," and it gives you paper, an area in the book to. No, I don't have one next to me, but it gives you you make out your meal plan, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and you have to use all the things only in your house and only your water storage, all those things, and basically go through it and see if you're ready. And I was like, gosh, I've never really done that. You
It
know,
wouldn't
I
let me
haven't.
show it either.
Yeah, I can't get it to cooperate, but it is a really good
Here's
book.
what I can. I know I can share links, so I just looked it up on Amazon.
There
So
you
what
go.
we can do is we can share the link for Amazon, and people can
Okay.
look and see what it is.
Well, go ahead and put that in there. You're hired, sir.
Nope,
You know,
it
I've
wouldn't let me
tried
do it.
loading it from my other browser window, and it won't work. Storms, radios, and cats.
No,
I had no
comment failed.
problem. Yep. See, I think they just don't want us sharing
Okay.
anything on here.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going on because I had no problem sharing all the pictures and things with y'all the other day. So, or with Becky on here too. So I have no idea. So yeah, I have no idea what's going on with that. But I figured, why not? I figured if it's something you like, I made like photocopies of the pages that I wanted to have on hand, you know, so to use them myself, and then I could pass it along to someone else. But I have another one. I think I got 3 total, but this is the second one. So if you're interested, it's really worthwhile. And if you don't get much from it, pass it along to somebody who's not a prepper, and maybe they'll, you know, get some ideas, or maybe you can make it part of their Christmas gifts or holiday gift or birthdays. Yeah, StreamYard. Yeah, StreamYard is giving me a pain in the buns lately, it seems. Spam. Yuck. Yeah, that's one food I cannot do. Spam is made of a mixture of all the things. Eesh. Yeah. Vienna sausages as a kid.
That was one of the few I could eat in the old sea rats, the Vietnam sea rats.
Yeah. I used to eat sardines with my grandfather, but he passed away when I was 8 years old. That's the last time I had sardines, and I have not had guts to do it since. So, but this book, it's called The Organized Home, and it's getting prepared and all the different things. And it has all these lists, and just some of it, I was like, wow, I haven't thought of this, or I didn't, you know, just a couple ideas extra is good. Some more information is better than none.
Yeah.
So once you use it, pass it along to a family member, a friend, coworker, neighbor, whatever. So just sharing knowledge. I think that's the best thing about being preppers is people like Lee or myself. I like to share things with people if they want to listen or whatever. But so I'm going to just put in the giveaway thing here that we're going to put book in all caps. And I look forward to sending it out to another person. And like I say, you're probably going to find a few things that you can go through and practice it at your house for the weekend. I mean, 3 days, you know, go 3 days, use only your water storage, your food storage, your alternative cooking. You have no running water. Your sink is shut off. Your gas stove is shut off, all the things. So you have to pretty much just try and do things like you were you know, in the poop with all the things. So
in the mix of
those ding ding doggies, yeah, they're out there just barking, barking, barking. So yep, see if everybody gets in there, and I'll draw for this book here. I do have a couple other things too. I know we're getting. Okay. We could be on here for hours because Lee has so much information. I mean, you just have to go back and see all the things that he has. I just watched some of them today. I don't think I got to comment on the one that you just had recently put up because I was busy doing all the things. But I was watching it in the back or listening to it in the background, which I do that a lot. I listen to things and then I go back and I watch them again. But if let me see how many people I have entered for this one. Let me go through, start collecting. 11 people. Okay. So let me see if I can. Okay. There it is. Huh. Oh, no wonder I couldn't do it. Now I know. Now I know. All right. Where was that? I'll find it. There it is. Okay. I figured out how to do the thing.
All right.
No, I did or did not. Maybe I didn't. Nope, I didn't. Okay. Never mind. That's not the one I wanted to share. Nope. Okay. I'll just do this one then. Okay. Oh, see, now it won't do what I want it to do. You stinker. Okay.
Are you talking
see what
to me?
I mean? This is giving me. Okay. I'm going to try it again. This is the one I want to share. And it won't let me do it. See, I hit the things. There we go. Okay. I'm hitting all the buttons. So hopefully, there we go. Okay. So there's for the. Amen. Cheese and rice and beans. My goodness. Okay. So we're going to draw for this one. Let me see. Here we go. We got 11 entries. Let's see who wins.
That's who I have my fingers crossed for that one.
Andrew.
Yay. And it came true. Look at that.
Yep. Andrew. All right. I think you have my email because I have some things from yesterday or the day before. Day before. Sorry. So I'm going to put that on here. Andrew. I got you down for that one. And I do have something that now that I can figure this out, I will try and get it figured out. I want to show, I was talking the other day about, you were on there, I think, Lee, when I was talking about all the things, and it was about having things in your vehicles for emergencies.
Yes.
And that is one thing that I myself am working on, getting all the things to get my vehicle ready. And I keep doing that over and over again.
I haven't taken this back out to the pickup yet, but if you get a chance, get you one of these, my PPE kit.
Oops.
So that's a poncho, an N95 mask, some protective eyewear, shatterproof eyewear, booties, and then a bandana to hold your poncho down. But it's basically, if you're out and you know that there's fallout coming, keep the fallout off of you. And so it's $30 bucks. You got a great little PPE outfit you can keep in a Ziploc bag in your car.
Okay. Oh, see, now that's not doing it. It's misbehaving. It's misbehaving. It's giving me a hard time. Come on. Come on. Do what I want. It's going to give me a hard time. It's giving me a hard time, of course. That's not what I want.
My last unit, when I was at Corps headquarters, our my MI company had 12 warrant officers, MI warrant officers. And so they called us Mr. and then the first letter of our last name. And my last name starts with an E, so I was Mr. E. So whenever I signed a document, I always signed it with a question mark. And people were wondering, who in the world is the question mark? And I said, I don't know. It looks like a Mr. E to me.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now it's going to give me a hard time again. Oh, what a pain in the buns. Okay, I don't need that one there. I'm trying to find this thing again. It's giving me a hard time. I just need to show a picture. Come on. Cooperate. If it will cooperate.
Oh, really? Heidi has one there. We need to.
There it is.
Share that with people. Share Heidi's comment if we get a chance to.
Okay, there it is, right there.
Wow.
Oops. Okay, where Heidi's comment. Where's Heidi? If you're in, whoops, what is this one? Project N95 will give you 50 free N95 masks for free. Huh. If you have a link for that, feel free to share it.
I'm going to write that down.
That'd be great. Yeah, I'll try and write that down too. Oops, I just got rid of it. Get on there. Okay, project. Okay. I'm glad my right hand still works. N95. So is that like just Google Project N95, I'm sure, right? Okay, we shall do that. So this here, let me make this bigger so we can see it. These are some of the items that I have set aside. I have a few of these. I'm going to give away one tonight. And these are all things that I think should go. Like if you can even get the dollar store has those little tiny chintzy little toolboxes. All these things will fit in it. So you don't have to have a humongous toolbox or anything. But I did find.
That a saw?
Yeah, yes, it is. It is it's a hacksaw. And I did not pick up extra blades, but they did have extra blades available. This is this is Dollar Tree and a Dollar Treasure store, which is more, they have up to $15, $20, $30 items in their stores. But so there's all kinds of things in here. Let me get it a little closer. Oh, I can't do it on here. But there's pretty much a pair of gloves, no matter what size they are. I have some zip ties, headlamp, box cutters, an 8-in-1 tool, bungee strap, that hacksaw. The light that's in the upper corner is this one here. That has a magnet on it.
Is that one of those shake lights?
No, this is it's an LED light. It's just a light with batteries, but it does have a way to hang it as well as a magnet. It will stick on something. So if you're in your vehicle, it'll stick on anything metal. Wow. Then of course, a 36-piece first aid kit. I do have the fish hooks. I think that's always good. If you got to catch something, you're going to catch something. Tarp. And these are the fuel cubes. There's 32 of them. I got those from my original Dollar Tree store before Dollar Tree was around. But those are just like those little white cubes. I've seen them before, but different names. Yep, there's 32 of them in there for that. There's a tire repair kit. Wow. And it has all the things to, poke a hole, repair a hole. It's got the glue. It's got the plug. Then there's extra fuses for your vehicles in here. Hand warmers. This is a LED light. It has two different lights.
X-Acto knife down there in the bottom left, not next to that.
Those are two different size box cutters. Yep. And then zip ties and a poncho. But this LED light has two different lights on it. One's like a flashlight, but it's really, really bright. It's from the Dollar Tree store. So this is just a starting off
Michelle,
point.
What is that white circular thing in the upper left?
This here, up the round light.
Yeah, is that a light? It's
a light. Yes, an LED light, but that has the magnet on it too, and you can hang it, and it has a magnet. But then the bungee straps, you need some bungee straps. I have a ton of other things in my, to go in mine. So, but I mean, these are just the basic things. I think you need something to start a fire with. Headlamp to see what you're doing, multiple ways to light things. And even those are men's size fabric gloves, but they're thick and I don't care. As long as my hands are covered, it could be freezing out. It could, whatever. And I just think this is a basics and it's just something that you can put it fits in like a grocery size bag. If you want to throw a bag in the back of your truck, you don't have to have a toolbox, but I do have other things that should be in it, which of course you want to have all your screwdrivers and you want to have, all the different things that you would normally have. But that is the basics. In other words, if you're going to be stuck on the side of the road, especially here where we're cold, even in Texas, obviously you guys can get cold here. And
that's a great kit. That's great. That's
this is a beginner kit to me, but this is something I have in my own vehicle. Yeah. Plus a bunch of other things, of course. But
you're going to give away pieces of this?
No, I'm going to give this whole set away.
The whole thing?
Yes, and I'm going to give it away to 2 people. So 2 people, I'm going to give away 2 of these because I made up a few. I spent a lot of time putting a lot of things together, but so I'm going to give away 2 of these because I've had to cancel live streams, and I'm really bummed about things. And I'm not going to have a live stream again until Angry Prepper on Sunday, which he has to confirm with me still.
Don't get overly bummed. I sent you my phone number.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm fine.
When it gets to that point, give me a call.
Yeah.
And somebody asked about metal cars. The last plywood car that I'm aware of that was a #1 seller was the East German Trabant during the Cold War. So the East Germans' cars were made out of plywood during the Cold War.
Never heard of that.
Yeah, Trabant was the name of it.
Huh. Well, all right. So I will get that down there a little bit. Okay, I'll quit sharing that one, and I'll get this. I'm gonna put. Well, I have a truck, but I'll put car, CAR, all caps. So I'll put that as the word to use as soon as StreamYard giveaway loads on here. It's getting there. Come on. There we go. Okay. There, that one there, and I'm gonna put CAR. I call mine a truck, so I call it a truck. But yes, bread bags. You know what I do? I found the other thing that I didn't get put in a kit per se, but whenever I find the shower caps, they hadn't had those for the longest time in the Dollar Tree stores, but you can get a pack of 8 or 10 like plastic hair covers. And those you can use over your, bread bags. Rock is saying something about bread bags over your rubber boots. We wore them in our boots as kids, the bread bags. I remember that. But if you have wet clothes that you want to put in your go bag, you can just tie it inside of a hair net, and it's plastic, and it's going to not mess up everything else in there. So I think that is something to have on hand in your vehicle too.
Uh-oh. I guess it's not going to let me post. So
it's just what do you want to post on it?
ProjectN95.org.
Project N95.
And then I spelled out dot so that it doesn't, but you can do it.
Oh. Yeah, I'll put that on there. Okay. .org. There we go. Okay. All right, I did the same thing. I got Project N95 with a dot and then .org.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay. All righty. So let me see how many people we have entered in here. We got 13. And Lee, you want to enter this, Lee? You can.
No. That's fine.
Oh, come on.
But I would be extremely jealous of one of the other people. I'll pick one to be jealous of. But no,
okay, I'm going to hit the draw button. We have 13 entries here. So let's see who wins. Oops, I got to share this.
Look at that. Jan was able to do it.
Oops. Sorry. I'm trying to share that. I can't do it. Share. It didn't share. Sorry, I got to do it again. I apologize. That's terrible. See, I think they want no prepping channels on here or something. I think they want no prepping channels and giving away preps because it closed off my window.
No.
So that kind of bothers me that happens. I'm not happy with that. Okay. Well, I'm putting the word in again, and I'm going to start collecting the comments. Okay. All right. That makes me angry when I see that they're, like I said, it's very frustrating that, I've been removed from people's channels, as a subscriber, and I don't know it until they pop up when I look at the whole YouTube things going on. See, Jan got it on there too. But anyhow, okay, that makes me mad. We used to get the N95 masks. They used to have them in big packages available in grocery stores back in the My Sharona times. I remember that. And I have a bunch of them from then. So, all right, I'm going to hit the button and see if this will cooperate now. Okay, there it goes. So let's see. See who the winner is.
Yay!
Celtic Grandma. There you go. Yay. Okay. I'm going to write this down, and I'm going to do it one more time because I know it's getting late. Oops. Yeah. Okay, let's try it again. It's giving me a hard time. Okay. Okay. Alrighty, so let me hit the button and see who wins this one.
The magic word is Maserati MQ-35 S3.
Yeah. Okay, Andrew. Alrighty, there you go. Okay.
All right.
I have one more thing too, but should I do that and then we can just chat a little bit more before I let you go? Okay.
Yeah.
I have one more thing to give away, and let me see if I can get the picture up here. And this is just for, oops, cooperate. Gotta get to cooperate. Okay, let me see if I can, stop it. Giving me a hard time. Thank you. There it is. See if it will cooperate. Doesn't want to. Get on there. Oh, you stinker thing.
I feel like I should be doing something like a Vanna White thing or something.
Yeah, yes, you should. Teasing. It doesn't want to let me do what I want to do. It's giving me a hard time. It's giving me a hard time. See if that'll work. No, it won't. You stinker. Does not want to let me do anything. Come on. Cooperate. Doesn't want to cooperate. There we go.
Grandma, she is far more organized than I am. I am quite certain she has.
I am not good at this at all. I am not good at this at all.
I'm talking about, tell the grandma, wants to know if you still have her address. And I'm thinking.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's in there. It's not going to allow you to do what I wanted to do.
A YouTube address book.
I don't.
So this is for the second one of those car emergency kits that she put together.
Yes, Celtic Grandma, I still do have your address because all the packages haven't gone out, and Andrew is the same. I'm going to have things from yesterday packaged with things from today, so it can save on some shipping. So
this is a
for a second and go get what I'm looking for.
kit she's put together, an emergency kit for the car, flashlights, first aid kit, bungee cords. There's a hacksaw, there's gloves, so you can change your tire and all that kinds of stuff, and extra fuses. She did a really good job putting this little kit together. I would say that it looks like she probably spent $100 on the contents of the kit, but really good looking kit.
Oh, I'm trying to find the one thing that I can't find, or the picture won't let me put up there. There it is, right in front of my face. All right. Sorry, I'm getting there. Doggies, you need to go. My babysitter, doggy babysitter, left. She left me. Okay, I'm gonna remove this. All right, I'm just gonna show you what's on here. So, get on there. Get on there. There. Thank you. Cheese and rice and beans. Goodness gracious. Okay, I don't want that on there. Okay, I see it. There we go. What I have is I have a couple of different foods, and these are Mountain House ones. And these are 2 servings. This one's 2 servings, and it is the beef stew.
Oh, wow.
Is a beef stew. And then I have, this is also 2 servings, which is the chili mac with beef. And I know you're a chili mac.
That's one of my favorites.
I know. So you actually, yeah, I'm not even going to tell you anything anymore. But anyhow, I'm going to give away 1 and 1. So, and if you guys have just won something, please don't enter for this one so that somebody else gets a chance to win some goodies. Please. Thank you.
I will tell you, I lived on that chili mac when I was in Boy Scouts. The Mountain House had the contract for Cimarron, New Mexico. What's that called? Philmont Scout Ranch. And so it was a 14-day adventure trek, and we carried Mountain House foods. Like the second year they were in business. I lived on the chili mac. That was phenomenal.
I did love the chili and the MMREs when we get that. And there was a few other ones that I liked, but they didn't have very good food back in the day, but I ate anything. I was eating all the time. So
yeah.
But okay, I'm going to draw for the first one. I'll do the beef stew. And so if, like I said, There's Bonnie and Celtic Grandma and Andrew. If you guys would just hold off on entering this one, I appreciate it. And I'm going to put in here, let me see. I'll put this in here. Come on, thing. I'm waiting for it to load here. It's taking its sweet time. Cheese and rice here. Okay, the keyword is going to be beef in all caps. So I'm going to do the beef stew one. So beef, all caps, all caps.
And look at that. You've already passed the first week of Russian. You now know the Russian word for beef.
What's that?
Beef.
Beef? Beef?
But it's spelled B-I-F. Beef.
So, yeah, as soon as... Yeah, well, like I said, I didn't pick up any language. I wanted to take language, but they didn't offer languages when I was in high school, except for Spanish. And I was like, I can figure out Spanish enough because we had a lot of Hispanic people that would come up here and work from Texas, a lot. So seasonal workers and or some of my family.
Well, Texas is officially a bilingual state. Everything we do is in both English and Spanish.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I didn't learn any foreign languages totally, but of course, going to Canada, half of my family's Canadian. I'm Canadian and French Canadian and Irish mostly. Wow. But then my mother's side of the family, they are German and English and Scottish over there. So I got all the things, so a little bit, but I never really learned any major languages because everybody spoke English. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and draw for this one here now, the beef one. Where's the beef? I think of that commercial all the time. So there's 8 entries on here. So let me share my screen. It lets me. There we go. Okay. Get on here. There we go. All right. So we have that there. I can get on there. There we go. Okay. I'm going to hit go for this one and see who wins. Oh, Lee, Andrew is asking where you live, Lee. What state?
Central Texas, right in the area around Austin.
Okay.
So I went to Jesuit High School.
Winner is
Much tested. Yay!
Yay! Okay, I'll put my email up there since you don't.
School before Vatican II, Latin is not considered a foreign language. We had to take Latin and a foreign language.
Yeah, well, they didn't have that at all in our little school. My graduating class was 89 people. My grandmother's graduating class was 8, but they only went to the 800. Yeah, the next drawing here. I've got to get that before I forget. Right. Yeah, there's my email, mittenprepperveteran@gmail.com. And please give me your name or at least initials because I send these out to either PO box or your address. Graduating class was 67. Not too bad.
Much tested. The really good thing about this Mountain House food that you won, I don't know if you've had it before or not, but it's pre-cooked. So all you have to do is add hot water and let it steep. So this is one of those really important ones that you want to have in your kit for that week after people stop cooking. You don't want them to smell you cooking and smell you heating stuff. So just a little bit of hot water and you're going to be doing really great. And Mountain House is good quality and it tastes really well. It tastes good.
My daughter, I usually have ones that don't have meat in them per se. I have some obviously for bird or whatever if I, get certain things, but I usually get vegetarian ones, of course, because we prefer that. And the pasta primavera from Mountain House is, my daughter loved it.
Wow.
I mixed up some, and even my best friend that we lived with, he even liked it. And, everybody's really picky about stuff. I am too. But it was so good. It was really good. So I'm going to draw for the chili mac one next. So if you haven't won something yet, then please enter. And I'm going to put chili in all caps as the word. So let me put this up here.
And that's CHILI or CHILE?
I at the end. Yes, I'll put CHILI.
Hello, Survival Buzz. Welcome.
Okay. Oh, Survival Buzz. Hello. Thanks for joining us. If you want to enter, I am giving away a Mountain House chili mac with beef from, yes, it's a 2 serving size. So, yep, chili, all caps. Try and make it bigger. There we go. Bigger, right there. Okay. There you go. So, yes, chili, all caps. And let me see how many comments we have in here. We have 7. 7 comments.
Well, we had 8 last time and 1 won, so.
All righty. So let's draw this one. Jan.
Yay, Jan.
Yay. There you go. All righty. Got that written down. Very good. All right, Jan, you know my email. I already asked you for your email the other day, so I think I already have it. So you probably don't have to send it to me again, but you can, so I don't forget you. So yes, that is that there. I have other things too. Like I said, I really wanted to be able to do a lot more days, but it's very hard to compete with larger channels that take all the internet away from me. Like Alaska Prepper. Well, I mean, he had a big, huge giveaway. I'm not that kind of a channel. I just do things because I can, you know, or because I'm able to. And I want to. For the people that actually really are starting out, or this one little thing of food in your go bag might keep you alive for a day. That's all I care.
I don't think people
Andrew,
understand.
no, you don't need this.
You know, it's not just the cost of the item. Sometimes it costs more to ship the item than what you paid for the item itself.
Yeah, it does. But the people, most of the people that have won something, I already have things sitting here from this one or the one before, so I can put them all together and send them all at once. And Andrew, no, I have your address, so I don't need it. Again, you don't have to email me unless you want to say reminder. then I won't forget, because I'll be doing that after I get done here. But you know, there's this. All I can say is just go watch all of Lee's videos. Because there's always new items on there. I see things on there I would like to have. Of course, I can't afford them. I would love to have gas mask. I've had like Mira contacted me, but they won't send me. I'm not a channel worthy enough to get a free item from them. And I said, well, I can't review something from you if I don't have something in person to review. And I really would like to have gas masks for myself and my daughter, but I can't afford them. I mean, we're pretty much going to be, you know, if that came to it. And I've been exposed to lots of nerve gas, as you can imagine, at the chemical battalion. And it is not pretty. I mean, the one time we got caught off guard, we were on a 15-mile bivouac heading out, and we got gassed by the MPs. And for some reason, I couldn't get my mask out and on fast enough. And of course, you're not supposed to run, which I did. And I dropped my rifle.
Oh, no.
Because I was getting sick. It was like literally 30 to 45 seconds.
This was CS or?
CS.
Okay.
We didn't get no wimpy stuff. I mean, I woke up basically, you know, and you're in a pile of all your things that are coming out of your body because you know, it's not to the extreme. I mean, we've been in the gas chamber numerous times. We know as soon as you smell that, I can't be near a bonfire to this day because it smells like CS gas. And I lost my sense of smell and taste with brain injuries from surgeries and whatever, when they try to kill you like me, like they did. But you know, when I smell that smell, I panic instantly. I reach for my legs still after all these decades. Wow. Still. CS will clean out your sinuses. It cleans out your bowels. It clears out your guts. I mean, you have every orifice is uncontrolled. And first up, when I opened my eyes, it was my drill sergeant and looking at me because I left my rifle. So I got nailed for that. Aren't hearing that. What's that?
I said, I hope you all aren't hearing that.
Well, I have dogs here. Dogs here and there. Hey, Ariana, Miss Paris wants outside, please. The Yorkie's name is Paris Monet. She's a pistol. She's a stinker. She's getting old. She can't hold it very much anymore and makes messes here and there. And but we get old too. Yeah, I had a few different review items already reviewed. Few walkie-talkies. Yeah, I've only had a few things sent to me. You know, I mean, I was a small channel like that. In case antibiotics that I did a review for, I'm the smallest channel, and I don't know, but only one other person that has done a review or promoted In Case, and it is price point $159.
Wow.
And I have the same antibiotics that every other company that I've worked with has. Huh. And they gave me that for free just for, you know, promoting them.
Well, I'm lucky. Roman Zelensky, who's the owner of Mira Safety, and I go back probably about 8-10 years. And before Mira Safety really got big. So just, you know, having that personal relationship. As a matter of fact, he just outgrew his location about 5 miles from here and moved into Austin. It was last summer. So he just moved to a bigger location because he's grown that much in just the last 3 or 4 since the cough. He's grown just unbelievably.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. I don't want to review something just because it's something free. I don't need anything for free. I mean, if there's something I really, really want, I'll get it. I'll save money to get it. That's how I do my prepping. You know, when I got out of debt, I became totally debt free before I bought this money pit. Of course, this is the only debt I have. You know, my vehicle I paid cash for, and I keep it full covered and everything because it's my only vehicle. And also, you're welcome, Andrew. You know, with my vehicle, I have it full coverage because it's the only vehicle I have. And also, it's an SUV. It's a Durango. So it is large enough that if it need to be, myself, my daughter, and 2 dogs and our preps will be in that vehicle. And I stated on whatever video I've done before recently when I was talking about emergency items for your vehicles, which that was something I was really working on to get everything together and organized. Is in my, you know, was talking about my vehicle. So I've been parking the way that I should have been parking. I have like 3 spots. So, well, I'm kind of sideways, but it's pointed a little bit nose out. I cover all my parking spots. I don't want anybody else in my parking area, including if the police are in here or sheriffs or whatever are in here often because of all the people and all the things. You know, there's a lot of people, there's ambulances in here because there's older people, or there's the people that have just whatever issues they got going on. But, you know, my friend that we used to live with, he sent me a message one of the days, and he said, are you awake? And I forget what time it was. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning when he leaves to go to work. He was trying to go here and couldn't because there were sheriffs out front because he was wondering if I was all right or whatever. And I said, yeah. I said, my cameras didn't pick it up. I got to change the batteries out there and stuff. And I have to reset some stuff because I don't have them recording everything, because every car that goes by or every leaf that flies by, it will record it. And it just drains it. Battery.
I get mine fine-tuned to get rid of the rabbits. Every time a rabbit runs across the yard, mine goes off.
Yeah. And I had it, you know, I had them around the whole perimeter of my home, but then all I got was recordings of a lady letting her dog poop in the back of my house area, or when she was walking in between myself and the neighbors. And I was like, I'd have it so that nobody can come in my yard unless it's the front they're coming in through.
Cheer.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I used to have the doorbell one where if someone was walking near it, it would sounded like a doorbell going off, but it was too loud and I couldn't make it not so loud. But that was a different place I lived at because
it's a car driving by.
Oh, yep. Yeah. And the batteries get worn down really quickly, but you know, I have indoor ones, but again, I have to update my new system with my internet and all the things. And I wanted to buy I wanted hardwire, but I don't want to I can't do it myself. I'd have to have somebody do it. And it's difficult. It's a lot of work, but I have wireless, but they don't all work properly. They don't record everything where I'd want them to record it, but they would record my dogs out in the yard. I don't want to see the dogs in the yard, but I have it blocked off. I have it blocked off where, you know, and it's supposedly not supposed to be able to do that. Well, guess what? I pay for this yard. So guess what? You know, I'm going to do whatever I want. Yep. I don't care what they say. All I did was tell them, hey, guess what? I'm fixing my roof and there's going to be a mess everywhere for a few days. And that's all I said to them. I don't care. So I'm doing what I got to do. So what does that say? Just work extra to prep up. I was saying, yeah, when I did all the budgeting things, I actually, Dave Ramsey, I've met him and his daughter. I won a trip. Dave Ramsey, the financial guru guy. Most people don't like him because he's very forward about getting out of debt. But I won a trip. My daughter and I got to go to Boston for a conference. We won a trip, all expense paid. And I got to meet with his daughter, Rachel Cruz, one-on-one when I was there. But the whole weekend was paid for, and we got to fly out and be VIPs. And it was a great time. But, it was just, I am a person, especially when I became disabled, I didn't want to be a disabled person in debt and try to prep. You can't be both.
No.
Because you don't want to buy preps on debt. You have to save up. And I prepped at the Dollar Tree store when I was 17, 18 years old, 19, even in my 20s. I still go to the Dollar Tree this day, obviously. That vehicle kit, a lot of the things are between the Dollar Tree store, my Dollar Treasure store, which is, they go up to $15, $20, $30 items in there. And then the other dollar store that was there before the Dollar Tree came around, that place, they had the little fire starters in there. I have not seen those anywhere else. So I find certain items, certain places, and you can put a kit together for less than $50.
Well, I go to the Dollar Tree, and unfortunately ours is closing down. They're going out of business.
Wow, really?
But yeah, but I would go there for the little 6-packs of emergency candles.
Yeah, I can't find those anymore. I have those here too.
That's. I would walk through every time I went just to see if there's anything else I wanted. But that was the main reason I went there. There was those 2 sets of candles.
Yeah, I used to get, I can't find them anymore. When I go to the Debbie Dollar, which is up a little ways from here for where I'm at, I find the 5 count, but they've been out of them for a while. So, but they have I'll take the 5 count. I like the 6 count better, of course, but and I also, Christmas lights. That's one tip that I tell everybody all the time, because Alaska Prepper, Rudy, was the one who mentioned it, because I have one flex fuel larger generator and I have solar generators. Well, Michigan is terrible for summers anymore, or sunshine, but I make sure they're charged up all the time. I double check them. All but one of them holds the charge the most. I haven't touched them and they're still charged up fully. Wow. But the Christmas lights, I got them for 30 cents a box of 100, and they draw the least amount of power from your solar generator. So you can have just regular Christmas lights, multicolor or white, whichever you want. I got all white. I like white better, just because, I try to disguise any light in or out from this place. So if I have lights inside, my solar generator is quiet. I can have, everything is blacked out in here. Everything's cut off wise from the outside, but I can have lights on in here, and not hardly use any of my solar generator power, because it draws, I don't even know what it is, the tiniest amount. So if we only need them on for a little while, that's fine. I also have, all the things, we gotta have a radio and stuff, but you don't want to make too much noise. You don't want people to hear you play music, but I have to say some of the best finds, Salvation Armies, I go because I get my veteran discount, 25% off every day. I have found 2 different DVD portable players. One was a very large one, like a laptop, and one is a smaller one that you'd use in a vehicle. People don't keep DVDs. They watch stuff online. They stream things. Well, if there's no internet, what are you going to watch?
Right.
Well, guess what? I have 2 DVD players that I can plug in.
Good idea.
And I have those on hand. I also have all of my oil lamps I've gotten from the antique store where I showed for prepping items, where I get some silver and stuff at, way up by where I used to live.
See, now last Saturday I went on a trek looking for an oil lamp, and I went to Tractor Supply and Harbor Freight.
Can't find them.
I went everywhere.
Antique shop.
The only thing you could find were the plastic ones at Walmart for $9. Yeah. No, I didn't want that.
I just got, let me show you this one. I don't have this kind. This is why I picked this one up too. Let me see. Right. Doggies. Okay.
Hello, Ark Wild Man. Long time no see. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
This is the one I just picked up. and it looks like Aladdin's lamp to me.
Oh yeah.
And it needs to be cleaned up a little bit. The price on this was $7.99, but I got 25% off of it.
Wow. So you got it for about
25% off of that. So I $5. The only thing is, the only expensive part is if you can get it and find, the oil lamp, which you can get it on Amazon. You just got to pick and choose. Some are going to be, they're not going to be odorless like people want them, or, whatever. But I mean, this is, I think, the 6th one I've added, but the other ones I found at the, antique store. They have all old things. Like I've got the hand crank
for those too. 50 to $100.
No, not me. The ones I find, the most expensive one was maybe $25, $35.
Wow.
Yes, and they're like new.
So here's a secret. I'm old, and
so
I went to stay with my grandmother. My grandmother did not have electricity. My grandmother did not have sewage. My grandmother did not have running water. So we had a hand pump. The house was built around the pump, and the pump was in the kitchen. Okay.
Yeah.
And we had a 2-holer out on the side of the creek, and then we played Parcheesi in the evenings. And we had an oil lamp. Of course, I was a city boy down from El Paso, and up there at her farm. And so one night it was time to go to bed, and she said, "Blow out the lamp," because we played Parcheesi with an oil lamp. Stupid city kid reaches up and grabs a hold of the globe to lift it up.
Ooh,
the globe. No, 2nd-degree burns like you would not believe.
Yes.
Not a smart thing. Stay away from the globe on an oil lamp because they get hot, people. I will tell you from experience.
Yeah, we had those. We didn't have a fireplace because the house that my grandparents had, it was just like 1 or 2 rooms. It had no plumbing or anything. He built everything onto that house. And the house next door where I grew up, what used to be a church. And it's in the history book of the city or the town that I lived in. It was a church. When my grandfather bought it, he gifted it to my mom and my father. So they, fixed it up, and there was the bell was up in the attic area from the church.
So you had bells in the attic?
What's that? The bell was in the attic. Yeah. So, but that house, I tell you, it was difficult though, because it wasn't meant to be a house, really. I mean, it had, it was just, we grew up there for X amount of years, but then when my grandfather had passed away, we moved in to take care of my grandmother. Then I was 8 until 16, she passed away. But then my oldest brother, when he got married, him and his wife lived in the house next door. And then my mom ended up selling it off after a while. Yeah. So.
Hey, Michelle, you know what I just saw?
What?
Look up here in the upper left-hand corner, that little red number.
The live for, we're almost 2 hours, really?
Almost 2 hours. Can you believe that? Oh my gosh, these people have stuck with us. Can you believe it?
I know. Goodness. I'm trying to read all the comments. I haven't been able to go back and read all the things, but yes, I have a fireplace here, but it's a gas one, and I will never use it because there's no way. But yes, the lamps, I started getting them again when I've been finding them, and I went out and I got new wicks. I ordered offline, and I'm going to, just because I can use these, and put them in certain places up away from where the dogs would be, or my daughter knows that to touch that kind of stuff. But the biggest tip that I ever got was, whenever Christmas lights go on, I paid 30 cents a box for 100 lights, and I bought all the ones that they had, and I think they were all white ones.
Huh?
And so I have them. I could plug those in instead of, these bright lights up here. Yeah, they're LEDs. I replaced them. And the ones I have over here are the emergency light bulbs. Right now, they're on, they're charged. If the power went out right now, I could unplug it, put the top on it, little clicker, and hang it up. And it's a light bulb, and it's fully charged. So I have those in every room. So I have every lamp that I have, or every, light bulb that's up in the ceiling or walls or whatever, those all charge. So when the power goes out, they come right on.
Well, see, and so then you have, the religious anomalies as well.
Mm-hmm.
We believe that there was an apparition in Medjugorje, and of course the church doesn't recognize Medjugorje as being an apparition because it's recognized as a private apparition, not a public apparition. But anyhow, the appearance of Medjugorje says that we're going to have 3 days of darkness, before the trials and tribulations begin, and so they encourage us to have blessed beeswax candles. So I really love those. What's the name of it? I forget the name of it. They've got this one candelabra, yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's a single candle or a 3 candle lantern type thing, and then it has the candles you can put inside, either paraffin or beeswax, and beeswax is what they prefer. And the one that has 3 is strong. Let me get here just a minute. I'll get you the name of it. I got it right here. UCO, UCO, UCO candelabra and candelarium. And so anyhow, so I keep those really close everywhere I am because they say that it's going to be total darkness for those 3 days. And then always within reach, I've got my little, this is my little strength area here. So I've got my little, these are all my flashlights that I want to make sure that they have plenty of.
Yeah, I'm a little collector of things as well. I like my knives and I like my flashlights and all the things like that.
This is the dining room, and I've taken over it for prepping. So over here, I have a New American translation. I have a New International translation. I have a King James translation. I have all my Latin, Greek, and Hebrew texts here. Then I have my Nutrient Survival, St. Francis, Crucifix, then Jesus, Moses, Joseph, Mary, St. Michael, an angel. Gosh, this is my area,
That's your area? Well, I have this whole place as my area, which is good and bad. I mean, it's a good thing because obviously I've been working for months and months planning, I think my birthday's on the 16th of December. So I'm planning to do a birthday live, maybe, hopefully, if nobody else is doing some giveaway thing or video thing on that day. I don't know. We'll see. I'll check it out and see what goes on.
Let me check. Let me put that down. I
haven't set it up yet.
It's going to be a Friday.
It's on a Saturday. My birthday.
Saturday.
Yep, it's on a Saturday. So I'm gonna do it live for my birthday. But I've been planning things for a while, and I was like, well, if there's enough people that maybe want to come and hang out and stuff, I try to do all the 12 days, but I can't make it because it's all the things. I've either broken a finger, or my wrist is messed up, this and that. So
let me share with you.
My Buzz's birthday is the 16th too. Well, good. I'm not the only one.
The Catholic version of Goodwill is called St. Vincent de Paul. And I am a St. Vincent de Paul case manager. So I help people in trouble. And our Christmas party is Saturday the 16th.
Yeah.
So I will mention you in our prayer session.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, okay. What if I do one more giveaway and then we can be done?
Hey, sounds like a winner.
Okay. All righty. Well, like I said, if somebody's already won something, please don't enter. So someone else who's been here can win this item if I can get it to come up right. Now I got to open these things back up. So let me get this one back up here again. Okay, I got that there. All right. Let me see. All right. Nope.
So I'm gonna have to follow Storm's Radios and Cats and see if she puts anything out about radios. I'm really starting to get into ham, so I'm trying to absorb as much information as I can from anybody who knows anything.
All right, let me see if I can get this one to show up the way I want it. No, I want the other thing. There it is. Ha. Okay. There we go. Okay. If I can get it to work. Cooperate. There we go. All righty. Okay. Oops, wrong one. Darn it. No, wrong way. That one. There. Cheese and rice. There. Okay. This is what I have to give away since whoops, I just did it wrong. Did it wrong. Nope. You pain in the buns. Okay. Okay. Well, it's just going to take over our faces for a minute. But this is a knife that I have to give away. And I like them because it's orange and black. Those are my old high school colors. And it does have, it has the seatbelt cutter, and it also has the window breaker on it, which I can't get things to do what I want it to do. Yeah, it won't do what I want it to do. But anyhow, yes, I like this because it does have at the bottom, it has the seatbelt cutter, it has the window breaker, and it has the serrated edge so that you can, if you need to, you can use whatever, get sticks or twigs, whatever you might need for whatever. So, oh, no, that's not what I want either. Stop it. Okay. Anyhow, I have that knife to give away.
Knife, I mean.
Yeah. So I have this knife to give away. So I'm going to just put knife in all caps if you want to type that in, if you haven't won something yet. And this will be the last thing for tonight. But I still have, hopefully Angry Pepper gets back to me and confirms. He did pick the date himself, but I gave him a time. So hopefully he will be available, but I know he is a busy person and
I just
has a lot of things.
He's on right now. He's live right now.
Yeah, it was 10 o'clock it's coming on at 10. He has 2 channels, both doing things. So
yeah. Jason's really good. I've been on his channel. He's been on mine, and just a really cool guy.
Yeah, we were on the Medics Unite with, she's now Alpine. It used to be Van City Prepping.
Yeah, I watched.
Okay, so we were on that with her, and then I've been on her channel. And so, yes. So if you want to win that knife, go ahead and put knife in there. If you've already won something at some point in time, then I'm going to pass it along to somebody else if somebody's already won something from me. So, and this is orange. It's it's orangish. It's more orange than red. It's more, I would call it all orange and red. So, but all right, I'm going to see how many people are on here. Let me see. Okay, so it's 5 entries on here. So let me see if I can show the stuff. Cooperate. There we go. I'm not tech savvy. Not tech savvy at all. So there's 5 entries. So I'm going to hit the draw button here, and let's see who wins this one. Somebody who hasn't won something.
There we go.
Storms, Radios, and Cats. There you go. Okay. All right. I think you got my email, but if not, go ahead and my email is mittenprepperveteran@gmail.com. Oops. Okay. Got that written down. All right.
Congratulations.
Well,
I really like that drop point.
Yeah. I was going to say, I have other goodies too. Hopefully I can get to everything. Well, like I said, I have my birthday giveaway as my birthday celebration, I should say, live or whatever. But yes, I have things for that because I love getting anything prepping related for any season or any reason, really.
Yeah.
Birthday, holiday, just because Mother's Day, give me something prepping and I like it. So yes, that is good. So yes, almost 2 hours, and thanks for hanging in, everybody. We just, I could be blabbing all the time. We can have live streams over and over again, and keep on chatting because there's always great knowledge to share with other people. Always. I was gonna say yes. It's funny. I know who the winner is, and the comment area doesn't know. We know before they do, so it's a little lagging or whatever it is. But yeah, thanks for joining us all in here, everybody, and thank you to my special guest Lee for coming on here. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have you on sometime in the near future because what I want to do is I would like to have a real good discussion around I don't think people are preparing for first aid the way that they should be. I think that a lot of things being forgotten, like SAM splints, and there's going to be an awful lot of concussive injuries with breaks and objects and things like that. And and there's going to be an awful lot of burns. And so I think we need to pay a lot of everybody's really focusing on gunshot wound trauma kits. And I think that we're going to have a lot wider need than that. So I need experts like you to say, hey, what can we do? How can we put together a good first aid kit that's going to be all encompassing? So
yeah, well, and people don't have basic skills when it comes to first aid in general, because somebody can sell you a $500 IFAC medic bag, but you're not going to know what to do with it if you don't know how to sutures. You don't know how to do sutures. I suggest invest in the money to get a suture practice kit off of Amazon.
See, and I would say just get yourself some Steri-Strips or some Ziplocs.
It depends. Well, I mean, you can use those, but they're not going to say if it's a huge area.
I just have this feeling that in a non-sterile environment, every time you throw a stitch in there, you're adding 2 puncture wounds. So you're tripling the chance of infection every stitch. And
it's going to come down to people will die from infection because they're going to die from blood loss first.
Yeah.
Then they will die from infection. Those are the 2 main things. If you don't have antibiotics or an ability to, like, yes, if you presented to me where you had somebody stab you and it went through, the outer layer of your skin down in through, the fat and then into the other layers, guess what? I could do that. Anesthetic? You got an anesthetic? No. But I tell people all the time, I can't get injectable lidocaine anymore. When I worked in dentistry or whenever I was at the clinic, I could get my things then. I could get my IV bags. I could do all the things. I can't do that anymore. But I tell everybody, Chigger cream. Chigger cream is the best thing you can get, and it lasts forever pretty much as long as you keep it closed up. It's just a cream, but it is 20%.
Wow.
Anesthetic. And you only need a tiny bit. So you can use it. And yes, it's going to burn like crap, but guess what? If I'm doing sutures on you with no anesthetic, you're going to squirm around and you can puncture and ruin something else in there. But good night, everybody who's got to go. Sorry about that. I just slipped blabbing. But medic wise, we had to do, you never know what you're going to get. And also things like people aren't thinking about all the other crazy bad stuff that can go on in the world. You can have, women and children being taken advantage of because of certain situations. Then you can also have a lot of different kinds of infections that you would not necessarily plan to get and need treatment or antibiotics for, or else you could have issues, reproductive issues. Gosh, only knows what. I mean, I've done all the things.
Take care, Lou.
Yeah, take care, everybody. Have a good night.
And so one of the things I'm really worried about, we'll get into detail about this when I get on, is we are going to be back into the 18th and 19th centuries, and we're going to be cooking over open fires. And people don't know how to cook over open fires. And I think the number of burn wounds that we're going to have are going to increase exponentially. It's just going to be unbelievable. That is my biggest fear, Feoxerus, is the people who are not going to be paying attention to sanitation and the subsequent bacterial diseases that exist because of that. Absolutely.
Well, that was, I've contacted this In-Case company, the one I told you about, $159 for the same basic meds that all the other companies are offering. $159, shipping is included. And I haven't even had a $5 off code on there. Not one person has clicked on that link. And I share it. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Got all worked up now. I swallowed wrong. Give me a minute.
I have some extra doxycycline and some prednisone if you need it. That's what I'm taking right now.
I'm allergic to anything steroids.
Okay.
So I can't have steroids. My goodness. See, I got all choked up. I was talking while I was breathing and trying to swallow at the same time. But for everybody's going by, okay, well, this name or this one's the most popular. Guess what? I had my case to me within 2 days, and it was half the price of the others. And it's the same medications. And actually I just had to use a couple antibiotics out of that kit because I tore my wrist. And when you tear a tendon, they can get infected.
Yep.
And mine, obviously, I'm prone to that, which I know, which is why I have antibiotics on hand. So I have the injectables and I have, the pill form. Of course, use whatever you got to use, but it's just, and I don't do pain meds. I mean, if I, the thing you can do is you got to have Epsom salts. You can soak things, but you got to have hot water. You got to have the things, all that stuff. But basic first aid, knowing CPR and how to unblock an airway. If you don't know those two things, you're dead.
Yep.
Right there. If you're choking and you're by yourself, you need to know how to unblock your own airway before you pass out, or else you're dead. I have no one. My daughter can't do CPR on me. She doesn't even understand the concept of doing a 911 call. So I'm on my own.
Yeah.
So whenever I've broken something or messed up something, I've set my fingers.
So this is appropriate for the season, but when I learned CPR, I drove ambulances when I was in college back in the early 70s. And so the doctor who taught me CPR taught me the rhythm, dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, or the fields we go.
They have changed the information that they teach, though.
Yeah.
And the de-chokers, those are fine and dandy, but unless you can use it on yourself, I mean, you can use it on somebody else. I mean, that's easy. You can use a plunger, toilet plunger, actually. You don't need one of the $100 things. I can get one from the Dollar Tree. That's the same thing. But if you don't know, I forgot what that said. Missed your comment about a link. For my email, I don't know if you needed my email address.
I think she's talking about the N95.
Oh, the N95 thing. It's up towards the top because it's N95.org is what it is, I believe. But what was I saying? I got sidetracked. But
de-choker.
Oh, yeah, the de-choke. You have to learn you need to know how to unblock your own airway. Because I've choked myself before, and I tell you what, it is not a pleasant thing. And you will lose all your bodily functions when you are choking and your airway is blocked and there's no one around to help you.
And an NPA is not always the solution. You
can't depend on anything but yourself to get your airway unblocked. And they used to teach, use the back of the chair, but they also teach now that breathing is more important than the compressions when it comes to CPR, because the breaths in are preserving brains from being damaged more, even though you want to get the pulse back. Yes. But they said, you want more breaths than you do the compressions. Supposedly, I don't do it I do whatever I do. I don't go by what they decide. Like the Heimlich maneuver can't be called that because the family sued everybody or whatever stuff. I don't care. Call it the Heimlich maneuver.
When I first learned CPR back in the 60s, it was 10 and 3. So 10 heart compressions and 3 breaths.
Yeah. Use a chair to unblock yourself. Yes. If you have one that is the right height for you, that is the hard part. But I can use the edge of my desk if need be. Yeah. But you have to be able, you don't want to break your ribs, because I've broken my ribs too many times, but you can break your ribs very easily.
Well, and that is hurt as much as the sternum. I mean, the opportunity to break the sternum is really great.
Well, when you're doing CPR, that's what you hear is cracking.
Yeah.
I mean, and that is a very scary thing to hear. And a lot of people will stop or freeze, because if you've never done it before, actually had to do it, the first time you do, you will probably lose your poo. Because
and the same thing, people don't realize just how painful a tourniquet is.
Oh yeah, I don't even want to go there with that. Yeah, I've had my legs smashed between a car and a truck before, and it took the front part of my thigh off, and getting dragged between a car and a truck, two vehicles, because someone drove like a ding ding. But I was,
I have a severe allergy to pain.
What's that?
I have a severe allergy to pain.
Yeah, I do too. But pain likes me, obviously, because I've been through a lot. So not email nor I mentioned a couple of ones. I have no idea what we were talking about. We were talking about a million things. Oh, something.
I can get off track in half a second, so don't,
I squirrel really, really bad. I'm like, squirrel. Yeah, I can't imagine. Well, that choker plunger thing. I can't imagine using that on myself. I wouldn't even be able to find it sometimes because I can lose my measuring tape or my hammer and tools. I was talking about that in my live the other day. I can lose tools really easy. You know, unless I have one in every room, I'm not going to be able to use a plunger on my face. And I wouldn't be able to do that.
The last time I choked, it was, well, I choke all the time, really. But
thank you, Jan, for sharing that. This is, in case there's the link and $5 off with free shipping.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that is, it is on it's in my information. I shared on, there is a video that I did on it as well, but I contacted him and, I think Survival Living is the only person who reviewed the in case emergency antibiotic kit. And I contacted the company asking about their affiliate program, if they had one. And so I'm like the second person that I know of.
Wow.
That I only heard this.
I don't know anything about
no one has clicked on my link. But I mean, Jace, I had like 40 people. I had referred like 40 some people for Jace. And I didn't even have a Jace case. So I can't even talk about what their kit is like, except for the price. I mean, and of course they keep adding more and more things on. And live, Thrive Life Foods. I love that. I love their foods. Some of them, not all of the things, but I don't promote it anymore or anything because I don't have the website set up anymore. I just refer somebody to someone else who sells it still.
Here's something strange. I have been a distributor with Thrive Life since 2009. Back then it was called Shelf Reliance.
Right. I've heard that before. I think
so. I've got 14 years experience and I have never tried doing it as an MLM like it's supposed to be done. I've never tried to sponsor anybody. I've maybe had 8 people order off my website.
Yeah. I joined through one YouTuber that I follow. Homestead Corner or something like that, whatever it is. But she's the reason I signed up because I was like, well, I was ordering hundreds of dollars all the time whenever there was sales from her. But I'd rather just order from somebody else that is currently selling and promoting it and whatever. Because like I'll use your link, Lee, when I order some stuff.
Are you still an active?
I'm not active at all. Nope. Okay.
I'm going to be putting out a video tomorrow. There are some discount codes for the month of December.
Yeah, I have the codes, the $10 and $25 codes.
Yeah. $25 codes.
I have those, but it says for active people only. I'm not an active person.
No. There's 2 different sets of codes that are in your back room for your associates. So one is at $25 for the associate, and then there's 2 different codes depending upon how much money you spend for your customers. And I'm going to be putting a video out on those tomorrow for the rest of the month.
Oh, okay.
So
because from what I read, it just showed that you have to be an active whatever, and I'm not active anymore from it. So I just figured I'd just order stuff through somebody else's link. So, and I pretty much I know you and the person I signed up under, and that's pretty much as far as that goes for that. But I'm glad I bought the Mountain House items when I bought them because now I can't buy them. I mean, they're so expensive. But I do have August and Farms. I've had a few people order from my August and Farms link, but the shipping cost is insane. A lot of people want to order from there, but you can get the prices better on Amazon and free shipping.
And free shipping.
Yeah. So it's like, but I did have people order.
The Amazon card, you get reward points.
See, I don't have that card. I'd be in trouble.
Okay, so with the Amazon card, you get 1 penny for every $1 you spend in points. That's good for free purchases in the future.
Yeah, I would be in trouble. I mean, I buy a lot of things off of there, but not that much. I don't want to buy that much more. But I do look for the deals on there when they have sales and stuff like that. And also different items that I might want to have that are prepping related and stuff. But yeah, at long-term food storage, I do have the Thrive foods that I like. I don't buy all the things because, their prices are pretty high compared to deals I can get for Mountain House or August and Farms or whatever on Amazon. I don't even order from my own August and Farms link because the prices and the shipping are too high.
Yep.
But I have had, I don't know who the people are. If there's anybody on here, thanks. But they've ordered $500 to $700 from me at a time. And that's fine. If somebody sees it, great. Yeah. I'm not going to roll in the dough, but I'll take that.
Disabled and Prepping. That's Heidi, right?
Yes, Heidi. Yes.
So Heidi,
Yeah.
your dystonia is kind of like I have Barrett's esophageal. So Barrett's esophageal, my esophagus basically clamps down. It closes up like a.
I used to have choking panic attacks.
And
when I was going through brain injury recovery, my airway would close having a panic attack, and it was similar to that too. But I'm glad I got rid of that.
So I can't eat solid stuff all the time. I nibble all day long, and about every 3 years. And right now I'm getting ready for January. I go in for my every 3-year Roto-Rooter, and so the GI, my gastrointestinal doctor, will go in and basically expand my esophagus so that I can swallow.
Wow. Again. Okay. Yeah.
So because it's
I have a big fear of choking because when I was 18 months old, I had my tonsils removed, and my stitches broke open, and I still remember to this day, even though I was 18 months old, laying there drowning in my own blood.
Ooh.
Until my mother happened to come in to see me, and she picked me up, and that's when the blood, and then they got me back in the OR and closed my stitches. I remember that still, and I'm 50-ish degrees. So I have a thing with choking, and so I've had a couple incidences where I have had something blocking my airway again, where I've had to unblock my own airway, and then also being in the military. The CS gas, I mean, it makes you choke, gag, you can't breathe, all that stuff. I have horrible, horrible times. That's why, I don't do bonfires. I mean, I love bonfires. I love fires. I like all that stuff. But if I'm not in the right mode, then it's like, woo,
Gotcha.
So it catches me off guard. But yeah, it's difficult. And also with, the different things that have happened in surgeries where they paralyzed me awake on the operating table. And I as soon as I felt it start, I couldn't even, it already paralyzed me. And I was laying there suffocating. And I remember every bit of it because my friend could hear me in the waiting room. It was during a second of my third surgeries of the arms and elbows and stuff. And he could hear me cussing because the
tube holder that they put in your mouth.
The trach, yes.
So they put the propofol into me, and I never come out singing like Michael Jackson after they give me that stuff. I don't understand why, but they put it in, and I'm sitting there laying there with my eyes open, and all of a sudden they come with this tube towards that thing in my mouth, and I'm trying to tell them, we're not there yet. You can't do that because the IV had blown, and the propofol didn't go into my vein; it went into the muscle. And so I'm trying to don't do that, and found out they don't have extra IV kits.
I couldn't even do that. The ding ding over here who was supposed to give me the knockout stuff gave me the paralyzing stuff instead.
Oh, and wow!
So I'm there. My eyes are open, and I could not move. I couldn't breathe. Everything was closed up. I was just laying there. But I remember every second, and I had huge PTSD after that. It took me years to recover.
I can understand why.
That's why I had the choking panic attacks was after that.
Oh, gosh.
And my only fear is choking from being an infant or, young toddler in whatever age. And, and then this happened to me because some ding ding wasn't paying attention to what they were doing. Yeah. So again, that's how, if that's
be nice, sweetheart.
Oh, I should go to bed. Sorry, I'll let them go soon.
My 15-year-old Chihuahua, she's letting me know she wants off the couch to go outside.
Yeah, well, one is sleeping over there, and the other one's probably on the couch out there. Yeah, that's the hard part. And then the other thing I always remind people besides is glasses, contact lenses, and hearing aids, things like that. Make sure you get extras, even if you can get something over the counter. Because hearing loss, my firing ear, of course, obviously has a lot of hearing loss in it. But I do have an over-the-counter hearing aid. It's battery operated. So, and it was affordable. It was maybe $10, $15 or something. But you can find them at like CVS stores, any of those kind of places.
Well, I'm really lucky. I'm really lucky because when I retired, I got 30% hearing loss. And it's in the frequency range most often associated with women's voice.
Oh, goodness. I'm glad I didn't put my other piece of candy bar in my mouth for that one. Oh, goodness. Yeah. So I don't have anybody else to listen to other than the dogs complaining, or that's about it. My daughter, she's in there singing away, and she's got to get into bed here pretty soon for school.
Well,
tomorrow.
we've been at this for 2.25 hours. I think I'm going to let you go, and then we'll see if we can't get a time set up where you can come on mic.
Gray Man, because I think I kept Gray Man on for an hour and a half ish when I was on his doing stuff. But this is the top winner right now. So.
Oh, thank you.
Oh goodness, yeah, yeah. All the things, yes. There's so many things that people are not prepared for. I mean, especially you can gather all the things you want to, but if you don't have an idea of what you're going to do with all the stuff, or where it is, or if it's not organized, I actually found something that was still boxed from moving twice in the last 5-6 years, and I had it's expired medications.
Wow.
And it's thankfully they're not prescription medications, but they were over the counter Dollar Tree items that I had, or little packets of whatever medication it was. But again, I've been tearing this place apart, and doing all the work, and always something extra going on here.
Yeah.
I keep saying, okay, like, thank you. You can stop bringing me all these things now, anytime. So, but I finally am getting to some of these packages, and then I'm also evaluating, am I using this item? If I'm not, it's getting donated. I'm going through all the things because I don't need to have, I'm making sure I have the essential items, because the less you have, the better. You have to have items.
Grab her.
Oh. Mine are stinkers. Well, the one that's sleeping over here is not a stinker. The one on there, the older gal, she's a little stinky, but yes. Yeah.
So this is Isabella. This is the one that has to go potty.
Well, that's mine. Yeah, my old one. I like little ones too.
She's a 15-year-old teacup long hair.
Oh, I had a wiener dog that lived to be 19. Her name was Wiener Van Schnitzel.
Oh, really? This is Queen Isabella. She was my daughter's, and my daughter had a baby, and Izzy had been with my daughter since college, her sophomore year in college, and got jealous of the baby, and so we had to adopt the baby, the grand dog, so that the grandson didn't get injured. But so I'm gonna go ahead and take her out, and thank you so much for a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Oh gosh, yeah, we will have to start earlier next time.
I believe so. And thanks to everybody who was able to hang in there with us. Oh my
yes,
gosh.
However, there's still 7 people hanging out with us, so thank you.
Yep.
For hanging out, and I'm going to be busy packaging up some things the next few days. I want to try and get a bunch of things out, because then I only have 2 more lives that I have planned, which is the one that is Sunday. If the Angry Prepper, even if the Angry Prepper doesn't come in, then I'll be on there. And then Vision Preparedness is on Monday.
Oh, I like him.
That will be the last one, because I'm going to need a break, I'm sure, of doing all the things. And I've missed out on, because I've messed up my wrists and things, I missed out on some of my volunteer hours that I've been supposedly doing, and I haven't gotten to them. And I don't like missing out on those, but I messed up my wrists, so I couldn't anyhow. But I'm going to get some of that done. And then my birthday is the Saturday after, which I'm avoiding.
Okay.
But thank you, Lee.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
We'll see you again somewhere on your next video, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
And or my next live. All right. Bye-bye. Take care. Good night, everybody. Thanks for being here. All right.
I'm going to leave that going.